good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all. And we're live.
Dale. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all.
Fuego.
Go home. So we are back, and we want to talk about Bad Bunny's Super Bowl announcement. There's major pushback from MAGA and MAGA influencers and MAGA people in the government, which in my opinion is once it starts to kind of encroach past the government, we're talking about freedom of speech at this point.
Yeah.
Where the government is mad over speech, and they are mad about Bad Bunny's speech, and that's kind of the deeper entrenched things that MAGA is upset about primarily. But I won't go there because we're going to talk about the announcement in general, when it happened. We're going to talk about MAGA's reaction to it, our response, and then just kind of guess what the impact is going to be when it comes to this performance. And so, according to Axios, it was just announced that the Super Bowl will have their halftime show performer in conjunction with Apple Music and Rock Nation. That performer is going to be Bad Bunny.
Hey.
And so when it comes to the reaction in general, people are losing their minds, not because that like there's something actually to be worried about. It's basically because of their entrenched racism and hatred, right? So like one of the tweets, apparently from influencer Benny Johnson, he said, "This is Bad Bunny. He was just announced as the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show. Massive Trump hater, anti-ICE activist, no songs in English." And somebody responded that he's saying the quiet part out loud, and that's exactly what is happening. People are like inflaming this moment that should be celebratory for this American person, and making it into something that is primarily about their hatred for him and their wish to silence speech for other folks. What do you think?
I also think, just to remind you guys, it's going to be in Santa Clara, California, and much like we did in the Kendrick video, the committee that picks it is the people that are in the state. So it's, there's a vote. It's not, Rock Nation trying to be subversive, or even the NFL. It is the people from that city. And I think it's one of those things where now everything is just sensationalized and people can't really help themselves. You have to make everything some sort of political argument, even if it's like whether or not humans should breathe. You know what I'm like?
Yeah.
Should you breathe when you wake up, kind of thing?
Well, I think a little bit of the opposite. I actually think the NFL, the committee, even though there's a city committee that kind of does the helping, I believe the committee is trolling politically.
Yeah, I can see it, but
I believe that because it's a pushback towards what is a true American value. Immigration is a true American value.
Yeah.
Right? California was not always California. California has been a part of Mexico. Arizona was a part of Mexico. New Mexico was a part of Mexico at some point in time.
Facts.
In our history. And so our country is made up of immigrants. Individuals who weren't necessarily, number one, individuals who were brought here and stolen from their lands, but also people that voluntarily came here and chose to make a better life within the United States that had been formed.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, formed that from stolen land from people that already had it to begin with. So like, let's not play this game like you're the victim of some, kind of woke ideology, right? If anything, Native American folks should be pissed off about who's performing at the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
I also think it's one of those, they are too focused in on like themselves. It's more of a selfish thing as well, because we continuously as America forget that the world exists outside of us.
100%.
And this kind of reminds me of like World Cup conversations, right? Like the World Cup normally does not expect the USA to win, even though we've won before. Like the world, with like a large number of Spanish speaking, Portuguese, all these like offshoots of one another in that way, countries are more predominant, i.e. can be seen by the numbers that Bad Bunny's music gets. Also, we know that a lot of these MAGA people are not very astute in studying things outside of just trying to make their racist points, because Bad Bunny already did a Super Bowl in 2020.
I feel like you're moving too fast.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're jumping through a lot of your points here. Let's start with his sales, because Bad Bunny is a global artist, to your point, right? And the globe is much wider than what some Americans give their perceptions is.
Right.
But I think another reason why they're reacting this way is because they don't want globalism. They don't want America to be an echo of the globe when America is already an echo of the globe. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that.
Right. If you have immigrants, if this is a country of immigrants, you already have cultures from all over the world. What foods do you eat? You fools? Like
the funniest thing.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
no, I see what you're saying. It's one of the funniest things about that white only town in Arkansas, where it's like, well, what are you gonna eat? Because you don't want any of the people that you don't like working there or in this town,
right?
Or you shouldn't,
right?
If you're gonna stand 10 toes on what it is you're trying to say.
If you're gonna have a burrito, a taquito, a quesadilla, something like that for dinner.
I don't
pizza,
even feel like they should get Tex-Mex.
Spaghetti. like
y'all gonna be
come on, dog.
What fruit salads,
right?
And fruit cakes.
You go have some fried rice, some general salads. Like,
can't have it.
Like what are we talking about? This is like I think, to your point, a false bit of outrage about globalism when you're already accepting globalism within your dining habits. You're already accepting globalism in musical culture, in fashion, and all of these other things.
Yeah.
In all of these other ways, you just feel as if somebody's still taking your jobs, and you're mad about it. You feel as if somebody's erasing your culture when your culture is probably something that was not made in this country to begin with.
Yeah, and also you're mad about people speaking out when there's a lot of people that have spoken out or that have performed and don't agree with political things. And the globalism just doesn't leave just because you want it to, but it has always existed, especially within the Super Bowl culture.
Right.
Like you can go through a lot of years where you'll see a lot of very tailored cultural things. Like they did a Motown celebration, like, which ain't got nothing to do with,
if anything, culturally, Motown is American culture, right? Because it's born and bred within Detroit.
Yeah.
And so, like, I really feel like we need to stop. Let's continue to, like, talk about your point, and I think this it kind of piggybacks off of what you're saying about this history of the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody made a comment on Twitter. It was Polymarket Football. At Polymarket Blitz is the handle.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL does not care about the USA fans. They have chosen Bad Bunny as a Super Bowl halftime performer. I think that's absolutely wild to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a wild statement to make.
But even if it's true, it doesn't matter, because the thing that the NFL thinks about, right, in terms of if I'm looking at the general goings on of what happens every year during the Super Bowl, they care more about their advertising dollars than they do the game, than they do who's ever performing. Hence why the performers don't get paid. They take the fact that the marketing that they're going to get from just being in front of as many homes globally sometimes and elsewhere, they care more about that. They don't really care about like giving you whoever it is you think should be there.
I'm just curious about if this outrage was there when Paul McCartney was around. The Who, some other folks that have Shania Twain, some other folks that have performed on the Super Bowl stages who aren't American.
What's crazy is I'm looking, because I would have thought that Celine Dion would have got one. Mm-hmm. I mean, granted, now she doesn't have like a lot of pop songs, so she wouldn't have something to carry. But given how much we like cared about her during like a certain era, that would have been something that was.
Well, we cared about her for commercials about puppies.
True. Really. But you also had like a general thing, like you had them salute to superstars of the silver screen. Like there was so much stuff that they did, like even the salute to New Orleans and Peanuts characters, bro. Like there was a thing about the entirety of what it is they want to celebrate, and how it was almost like a Grammy performance in terms of how they were celebrating different cultures and other things of that nature. Like they did, because ABC, they did 25 years, but they did a Small World tribute. So they were actively going for globalism.
But I think the point we're talking about is the NFL doesn't care about USA fans.
No, not really. I think they care more about the global impact of the halftime show and
Wait a
marketing.
minute. So you're affirming this point that they don't care about USA fans?
Not in the way that they're saying, because he's making it seem like you don't care what we want. And I'm more so saying they care more globally about the marketing in regards to what it's going to do. They may like give you a little bit of care, because again, the people from the cities and the committees are picking who's doing what. But overall, it's going to be bent down to the marketing dollars and everybody else around it, and how much money they can make off of it.
I think you're mixing up a modern care about global marketing versus like past care about global marketing. Like I think as technology improves going forward from the Super Bowl history, Super Bowl is traditionally about America.
Yeah.
Essentially, right? It's America's favorite, one of America's favorite sports.
Yeah.
I think that what they really care about historically has been celebrating America in general. And as we've moved forward in history, they are more willing to lean towards global advertisement and development, knowing that the Super Bowl is broadcast across the globe.
Yeah. So that makes more sense. But I also think that it's an experience. And they always want to up the experience, and they want to up the odds. I don't think every year, especially once the Super Bowl started to get its legs, right? So when we started to get those commercials and everything else, I feel like the NFL itself just wanted to reach further out, which kind of is like still going with my point that I kind of like. I don't think they understand the difference. They don't not care about you because they're picking Bad Bunny, but they themselves are trying to continuously grow the game and grow the reach of America in other places. So they care about it in a different way than what you do.
They're trying to make sure that the Super Bowl halftime show is something that people tune into year over year without fail.
Yes.
And I guess to your point, they don't care about if you dislike this performer.
No.
They know that this performer is more liked than disliked, in your opinion.
Yes. And even if you dislike it, you're still going to watch it because a lot of the MAGA people, to me, you can boycott Cracker Barrel and get them to change their logo.
Did MAGA respond to Shakira? Curious.
I wonder. Because Bad Bunny was on the 2020 Super Bowl. That was another point that we'll get into where it's like you really don't have actual outrage about this because he's actually done the Super Bowl. I wonder. Well, it's a point that we're on at the moment because like if they felt some type of way about Shakira, well, Bad Bunny was there, and I guarantee you, the song he did then was not in English. Like Shakira just does English songs every now and again, but majority of her songs would be what in her language of origin.
This conversation is all over the place. I don't think there was an opinion about Shakira in the way that it is about Bad Bunny for sure.
No. Well, because Shakira's, and I think this is the difference. Like a lot of times when you feel a certain impact, right? If somebody in your feelings bows to the whole, you're in America, learn English. The fact that she had English songs, she'd done stuff with Beyonce. They have the whole Pepsi campaign. And there were things to make you feel comfortable in your own racism or whatever. That's why I think there wasn't as big of an outrage, right?
Yeah, so I think what
it was 2020.
What I'm thinking about is that like they are fine with assimilation.
Yes.
They're not fine with actually embracing other people's cultures. And that just kind of screams the racism behind all of these thoughts. What's going to be the impact of this performance?
I mean, I think the impact is going to be great globally. Like however many millions of people, and I don't even know if it reaches millions. It might be like a million, maybe a little bit more in terms of like the people who will be displeased by it. But you're not going to be able to make an impact to stop what he's going to do.
Yeah. So let's thought experiment right here.
Right.
Right. Number one, this is just the take before the thought experiment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think ICE is going to make it inside of the field because I think what's going to happen, and this is just a random future take, we're going to have to see if it comes to pass. I think the fans are going to push ICE back the same way that fans in Los Angeles, the Dodgers fans, pushed ICE back.
Yeah,
some months ago.
I agree. I don't even think that's like a hot take because it's California. Like you would not. That's like sacrificing yourself and who you kind of are as a state in terms of at least the inhabitants or the citizens of California, right?
Yeah. So the other point that I wanted to make, and I think this is important.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I lost it. I was talking about how I was talking about how ICE was gonna be pushed back.
Mm-hmm.
I was also talking about how fudge.
It'll be the fans that'll push him back. It won't be It won't be like the NFL getting to a point to where they feel like they need to step in and do something. Like I feel like the people will take care of their people.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I don't think people are prepared to boycott the NFL in order to make this not happen.
No, they're not. They're not at all. Because what is it? I think it's like the second or third or something like that biggest shopping day in terms of marketing value, how much stuff goes up. Like if you think that his numbers are crazy now, watch what his numbers do Super Bowl.
Right. So say, for example, like what would happen with Jimmy Kimmel.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We already know that MAGA is coming after people for their speech, which they're mad at Bad Bunny's speech specifically and his activism. It blew back in their face. People boycotted Disney and Hulu and ABC. And that in turn turned into more of a political movement than the outrage about Jimmy's speech. And then he came back with bigger ratings than he ever has had in quite some time. And so I believe, like you're saying, that is going to be the outside effect, is that more people are going to be outraged of this and they're going to put more attention on it, right? We're talking about it right now, right? Yep. We wouldn't have been talking about this if MAGA hadn't have jumped on this the way they did.
It wouldn't have even been something that mattered. It would have been like, oh, that's cool. That's going to be kind of dope. But I think people don't realize how your conversation about things a lot of times can bring more attention, can cause like an adverse effect. And this is going to be, I think, probably one of the biggest Super Bowls in a very long time. Because I think Bad Bunny's music is universal in terms of his sound. Even if I can't pick up everything, I think it's just going to be a really dope show. And I think he is very intentional, especially like these past couple of years in terms of, or the performers are very intentional in terms of how they're being picked. So I think the show will be very poignant to culture. And when people around the world see the representation of themselves, they respond, i.e., like I said earlier with the World Cup, and America doing something that gives a light to that gives a connection point to that, I think is going to be very, very amazing. Like I really do think the show is going to be dope.
I think it's impactful primarily because it shows what American culture really is, which is the melting pot.
Exactly.
And like, regardless if you think it is or isn't, the reality is that it is. And it goes back to the same point we were making earlier. Where do you get your food from? Where your clothes come from? Where your language choices come from, right? What kind of dialect do you use on online and that type of thing, right? So people are completely unaware and completely aloof if they think that their social impact is not coming from outside of their original culture.
I do have one like exiting question in terms of like our general Super Bowl like predictions.
I don't want to answer it.
This one's you got to.
What?
It's our thing. Who do you think? Do you think he's gonna do a standalone, or do you think he's gonna bring out guests?
Oh, who's coming with him?
Yeah,
Shakira. No, I was kidding.
I here's my shot in the dark. Kind of like I wanted LaRussell at Kendrick's. I kind of like would want Pitbull to pop out.
Okay.
I don't know why I think that would be cool. Probably because of Miami thing, but I just
Mr. 305.
You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of like that. I kind of like that feeling. But I am very interested if he brings out more people.
I would like to see somebody that's more independent, like Snow the Product or something like that. You know what I mean?
That's fire.
Just like
I see what
him
you're
to
doing.
reach
I see what you're doing.
into
I like that.
reach into the bag and just like, hey, she'll turn.
I don't want to see Shakira. The only reason I don't want to see Shakira
It was a joke.
is because she won. But I do think it could have went though.
No,
Because it would have been like a cool
disagree.
little.
I totally would have like, no, it's the wrong time, wrong place.
Good, but yeah. So those are my takes, and then I think it's gonna do like astronomical numbers, more numbers than like the Super Bowl has seen in years, even with like people that you wanted to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is gonna be exciting. What do y'all think? Do you think MAGA has a point?
Do not put that in the comments. I will delete it.
What do you feel about Bad Bunny being chosen? Are you excited for the show? Are you excited for who he's going to bring out? Are you just excited in general for the Super Bowl? Because it's, we're in that season. But yeah, let us know down in the comments. And we'll see you guys in the next piece. A 1 and a 2 and peace.